New iPads mean a lot of choices. Apple just announced the revamped iPad and the redesigned iPad mini. With the iPad and iPad mini coming soon, the older iPad models immediately look a little less appealing other than its size. Is it worth sticking with the older iPads, or is it time for an upgrade? In this video, I'll talk about all the new features and benefits of the 2021 iPad and mini, and break down if it's worth the upgrade or if you should stick with your current model. If you find this video helpful in deciding whether or not you should upgrade, consider subscribing, as that helps us out. Starting off, the regular iPad base model has always been appreciated for its affordable price. The new base model gains a couple of useful extras: more storage for $329, 64 gigs rather than a really low 32 gigs of the last model, a faster processor with the A13 chip, and better cameras. Most importantly, a wider angle, higher resolution front-facing center stage camera that tracks your face via digital pan and zoom. Unfortunately, it still uses the first-gen Apple Pencil. We'll most likely have to wait for a redesign in order to get Apple Pencil 2 support, due to the magnetic charger. It's still compatible with a range of keyboard cases. It doesn't have USB-C, but at this price, we can't be really too picky until we see a redesign. Its predecessors were often on sale for $299 or less, and that should be true this holiday season as well, if you want to snag the 8th generation for cheaper. The downsides to the iPad base model have mainly to do with the bezel-heavy older display, which adds True Tone for adjusting color balance in different lighting conditions, but is still 10.2 inches and doesn't support a wide color gamut like the iPad Air, Mini, and Pro. It still has the old speaker layout in the bottom instead of both top and bottom. Functional, but not great when compared to the other models. It also still uses the circular Touch ID home button on the front. Some people prefer it, but it takes up space where the display could be made larger. Apple says the 9th gen iPad works with older cases for the 8th and 7th gen iPads, which is good news for finding deals or using what you already have. The 256 gig version costs $479, $50 more than last year, but has 256 gigs of storage, a bump up from the 8th gen model's storage cap of 128 gigs. This matches the storage tiers of the iPad mini and iPad Air. What came as a welcome surprise to everyone is the newly redesigned iPad mini. The 6th generation iPad mini borrows some of its design upgrades from the iPad Air 4. While it doesn't introduce any new technology on its own, it presents it in the smallest package available. Starting at $499, it's hardly super affordable, but it has some interesting upsides. It has an optional 5G, which only the iPad Pro had before. It also has that new digital center stage camera like the iPad and iPad Pro. The larger 8.3 screen looks promising, but lacks mini LED like the Pro models, or 120Hz ProMotion. It works with the 2nd gen Apple Pencil, so you can magnetically snap a pencil right onto the side, which is nice. But the new design means it'll need an all-new case and keyboard accessories. It's got a hefty processor upgrade, the new A15 Bionic, that's being used in the iPhone 13, so users can edit photos, videos, draw, and play games without skipping a beat. Perfect for entry-level prosumers looking to use professional apps. The price could rack up based on 5G and storage, case, and accessory upgrades, but this could also be considered a phone-like tablet, which some people prefer. A lot of people like using the iPad mini in the past, but the smaller size also means it's not as ideal for dual-app multitasking, something the iPad has been leaning on more in recent years. The new mini should handle all the multitasking tricks, but it has less screen real estate per app than larger iPads, but a bit more than the previous mini. One downside of the mini, if you use your iPad for text editing, could be its smaller display and lack of a smart connector. There aren't any Apple-made keyboard accessories for the new mini, and it may be harder to find a good keyboard case. It's in that weird size where some people may find it too big to type on directly as opposed to your phone, but may be too small to use a keyboard with. Whether to upgrade is a bit more complicated. Here's who should and shouldn't upgrade to the newest iPad versions, if you decided to take the plunge. All of the current iPad models support mouse and trackpad use for a more MacBook-like experience, and it depends on what type of consumer you think you are. That being said, thanks to some key upgrades, the 2021 iPad 9th generation and mini look far more appealing now, but that doesn't mean that the previous versions are a total write-off. iPads are built to last when it comes to software support, and though all current iPad models support the latest version of iPadOS 15, and with either the first generation Apple Pencil or second generation Apple Pencil, it doesn't necessarily mean that your older iPad will live up to the newest versions in terms of performance and extra upgrades, so upgrading can be worthwhile if your current iPad is starting to show its age. The iPad mini is the best bet for tablet users who want to save a little money if the latest A15 chip sounds like a better deal. If you're the type who relies on taking notes, keeping a journal, or brainstorming a solution, watching videos on YouTube, and answering emails, the iPad is a great start. So if your tablet is more than 3 years old, it's probably worth the upgrade. If you're upgrading from the 2019 model, there's no real major difference, and I'd suggest you make the choice based on your current user needs. As long as you're satisfied with the iPad you already own, especially the multitasking features and how much battery life it gets, then it might not be worth spending your money, especially if you already own either the 8th gen iPad, the 5th gen iPad mini, or the iPad Air. If you have an even older model, then there are a lot of features that would be worth it. The revamped design, newer cameras, the A15 Bionic processor on the Mini, and other practical upgrades. Between its ability to use social media apps, read email, web surfing, and watch videos, the iPad can replace a laptop for many people who are just using it as a consumption device. With apps like Apple Pages and Numbers, Microsoft Office for the iPad, and the ability to connect a keyboard, the iPad may have all the computing power you need. So there's no real need to worry about having the latest and greatest device in the lineup. In case you missed it, you can watch the iPad video recap here on the card above. With all that said, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell to stay up to date on all our latest videos. Are you picking up any of the new iPads, or sticking with the one you got? Let me know in the comments section down below, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.